Hey, welcome back. Sitting here on the table are two Dell Optiplex machines that look very, very much identical in a lot of ways, but in all actuality, you've got two very different machines here. The one on the right, let's start with that one, is the Dell Optiplex 380 that you've seen in prior videos. We did some upgrades and updating on that. And the one on the left is actually a Dell Optiplex 780 that I just got in. I bought it online on eBay for $44, and I got it in a few days ago. And much to my surprise, it cleaned up nicely. Now, we borrowed some of the parts from the 380 to use in this machine. Since the Optiplex 380 is pretty much a no-frills, bone stock, stripped down kind of a model, I'm just going to throw a 500 gig hard drive in it and call it a day, just re-image it and, you know, keep it around for a loaner or for a customer, or maybe try to sell it, I don't know. But we actually took the video card out of that. That was a half-decent Radeon 6670 card, and put it in the 780. The card reader was already in the 780 from the factory. I was surprised. We took both the optical drives out of the 380 and switched them over, and I took the hybrid drive out of the 380 and stuck it in the 780. And now we're actually just about ready to re-image the drive. I'm going to put a fresh install of Windows 7. I had Windows 10 on everything in the house, and honestly, I'm starting the transition of reverting some of the machines back. Windows 10 is very invasive. I don't really notice a difference in the speed between, actually, if I have to say this much, and this surprises me to say this, Windows 8.1 actually probably right now boots up faster than all three, if you compare 7, 8.1, and 10. So I'm just going to re-image the drive in the 780 and put 7 on it. I have a Dell Restore disk, and we'll do that. What else did we do? The 780 has some of that Team RAM, that cheap stuff you can get from, I believe I bought that from Newegg. Fairly cheap stuff. I think it's 1333 RAM, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to run 8 gigs in it, and we're going to try that configuration, see how it does. I have another idea kind of going through my head right now, and I just might try it. I have a spare solid-state drive available, and I might just throw that solid-state drive in there in the 780 and have the 1 terabyte hybrid drive as a backup. Yeah, I got to go through my stockpile and see, but in the next clip we'll start the re-imaging process, so stay tuned. And basically, this is what happens, guys, when you're loading the Windows image onto the machine off of one of those Dell Restore disks like we have for this one. Almost kind of looks like a normal Windows installation disk. So just figured I'd give you just a quick, quick view of that. You select you select your language. You install now, go over what you want to do, whether you want to do the upgrade or the custom, which was basically just wiping out the hard drive and installing Windows from scratch, which is what we're doing here. And then after that, it should come up to a desktop and we're good to go. And now comes the very long and tedious process of downloading the updates. 201 important updates to be exact. basically got a slightly faster internet connection. I switched back to the local cable company and did away with the phone company, and went from 50 down to 75 down, so we have more speed in here now, which much noticeable difference. So we'll go through this long process, and then we'll come back after it's all done and tidied up. And a finished product should kind of look something like that, guys. It's actually the next day. This was a very, very long and tedious process to get all these updates done and get Office on it and everything, get that all up to date. But for right now, we got a good base on this system, and I can take it upstairs. This one's actually going to be going in place of the Dell Inspiron 560. I actually had to wind up taking the 8 gigs of RAM out of that machine and putting it into this one, because this machine does not like, the 780 does not like the Team RAM that I was going to put in it. That Team Elite Plus stuff. Even though it's rated for the correct voltage and the correct speed and everything, the machine just doesn't like it. Did want to mention one other thing. We did go to Dell's website and download and do the latest BIOS update for the machine. That took a few minutes, went through just fine, which is, for this particular machine, is version A15. This thing actually had version A06 on it when I got it, so it was definitely behind on its BIOS updates. But we're in pretty good shape now. I wound up taking, we'll zoom in on it right here. I gotta paint that basement floor. If you look very closely at the optical drives, I took that light on optical drive in the top. I took that out. I had a spare LG drive from a previous computer that I took out of service, and just went ahead and installed it in there. The light on drive still looked good. It didn't have a whole lot of mileage on it, but for some strange reason the drive was sticking when you would go to hit it to open the drive. So the LG drive works great, so I just put that in there in its place and good to go. We got 2 optical drives, a card reader capability, and as a result, she's good. I will probably, because I'm going to be using this system more than that Inspiron 560 or whatever it was, I think it was the 560 that I was talking about. I'm going to probably take the Core 2 Quad out of that and stick it in this machine, just because it's going to be getting more use. And the 560 is going to be very light duty, so I'm probably just going to turn that back into a no-frills type system, nothing too extravagant, and just use it for light duty stuff until I can get some more RAM for it, because it doesn't like the 8 gigs of Team RAM either, so we had to come up with something different for that. It's got 4 gigs in it right now that I have from leftover DIMMs from some of these Optiplex machines. So I managed to put together 4 gigs, and it's doing okay with that for now, but we'll regroup and figure out something for that. But anyway, we'll keep you up to date on this 780. A good machine. It cleaned up nice. Everything went together really well, and stay tuned. There will be definitely be more videos on this machine. And as always, I thank you for watching.